She walked into the church alone. She never walked out. No forced entry, no witnesses, no motive. Just silence. And a body posed like a message. October 12th, 1974. Stanford University. The campus was quiet, the air crisp with early autumn. Arlis Perry, 19 years old, walked alone beneath the Romanesque arches of Stanford Memorial Church. She had just argued with her husband, Bruce Perry, about something trivial. Tire pressure. He offered to check it. She said she needed to pray. Bruce let her go. It was late, but the church was open. Arlis stepped inside. She was new to California, a recent transplant from Bismarck, North Dakota. Raised in a devout Christian household, Arlis was soft-spoken, thoughtful, and deeply spiritual. She had married Bruce just weeks earlier. They were high school sweethearts. Now they were navigating the early days of marriage, college life, and unfamiliar surroundings. The church was nearly empty. A few visitors lingered in the pews. Arlis knelt briefly, then moved toward the altar. The stained glass glowed faintly in the moonlight. Outside, a campus security guard named Stephen Crawford passed through. He said he locked the doors at midnight, said he saw no one inside, said he was just doing his rounds. At 5:45 a.m., Crawford claimed he returned to the church and found the doors ajar. He stepped inside. The nave was silent. The air was still. Then he saw her. Arlis was lying near the altar, posed. Her jeans had been removed and folded into a diamond shape across her legs. A candle had been inserted into her body, another placed between her breasts. Her blouse was torn. Her head was tilted back, eyes open, an ice pick buried in her skull. There were no signs of forced entry, no struggle, no blood spatter, just ritual, just silence. Police arrived quickly. The scene was disturbing, but strangely clean. Semen was found on a kneeling pillow. A partial palm print was lifted from one of the candles. Bruce Perry was questioned, then cleared. He had been asleep in their apartment. Crawford gave his statement, said he locked the doors, said he found the body, said he didn't touch anything. But something didn't add up. Stephen Crawford was 29 years old, a former police officer turned campus security. He had keys to every building, he had access, he had time, and he had a story that shifted under pressure. He said he checked the church at 2 a.m., but that was never verified. He said he saw no one inside, but others had seen Arlis enter. He said he found the body, but the way she was posed, the candles, the diamond shape, the ice pick, it didn't feel like discovery. It felt like performance. Crawford was never charged, never arrested. But he remained a person of interest, quietly watched, quietly suspected. The case went cold. For decades, the murder of Arlis Perry haunted Stanford. Students prayed beneath the same stained glass. The altar was cleaned, the candles replaced, but the memory lingered. Arlis's family mourned. Bruce Perry moved on. The church remained open. Tourists walked through its arches. The crime scene became a footnote, a whisper, a shadow. Rumors swirled. Some said it was a satanic killing. The candle placement, the diamond shape, symbols maybe. Others said it was sexual sadism, a killer acting out a fantasy. But there was no evidence of cult activity, no known suspects, no motive, just a girl who walked into a church and never walked out. Stephen Crawford faded into the background. He left campus security, moved into a quiet apartment, lived alone, never spoke publicly, never confessed. But the silence was never complete. In 2018, cold case investigators reopened the file. DNA technology had evolved. Samples from Arlis's clothing, preserved for decades, were retested. The results came back. A match. Stephen Crawford. The man who locked the doors. The man who said he found her. The man who had always been there. Police moved quickly. They secured a warrant and approached Crawford's apartment in San Jose. It was a quiet complex, tucked behind a row of trees. They knocked. No answer. They prepared to breach. Then, a single gunshot. Crawford had taken his own life. Inside, they found no manifesto, no confession, no explanation, just silence. The killer had been inside the church, inside the story, all along. The crime scene had always felt deliberate. Arlis's body wasn't just left, it was posed. Her jeans folded into a diamond shape, a candle placed between her breasts, another inserted into her body. Her head tilted back, eyes open, as if staring at something beyond the stained glass. It wasn't rage, it wasn't impulse, it was ritual. But what kind? Some speculated satanic symbolism, the candle placement, the diamond shape, the timing, just past midnight. But no cult evidence was ever found, no symbols, no writings, no known affiliations. Others believed it was sexual sadism, a fantasy fulfilled. Crawford had no known history of violence, but he had access, he had power, and he had silence. The church itself became part of the mystery. Romanesque architecture, vaulted ceilings, a place built for reverence, turned into a stage for horror. The killer didn't just take a life, he made a statement. But to whom? Was it personal? Was it symbolic? Was it madness? No one knows. Stanford Memorial Church still stands. Tourists walk through its arches. Students kneel in its pews. The altar is clean. The candles burn. But beneath the stone, beneath the silence, the memory lingers. Arlis Perry came to pray. Stephen Crawford came to kill. And for 44 years, the church kept a secret. She was 19, newlywed, devout, alone. He was trusted, armed, silent. Together, they became a story that refused to fade. Her family never received a confession. Bruce Perry, now a psychiatrist, never spoke publicly about the case. The university moved on, but the questions remain. Why her? Why there? Why that way? Some killers want to be caught. Others want to be remembered. Crawford was both. He staged a body like a message, then waited for someone to read it. And when the truth came knocking, he chose silence. Arlis Perry walked into a church. She never walked out. Her murder wasn't just a crime. It was a ritual, a performance, a message. And for 4 decades, the man who wrote it stood quietly in the wings. The candles, the pose, the silence. They weren't random. They were deliberate. And the church, built for prayer, became a tomb for truth. Stephen Crawford died without speaking, but the story he left behind still echoes in the arches, in the pews, in the silence that listens back.